cool. Perfect. All right. So here's some quotes about playfulness. All right. So I want to start with one that I love a lot, which is the Alan Watts one. This is the secret of life, to be completely engaged with what you're doing in the here and now. And instead of calling it work, realize it is play. So this is connected to a lot of people who are working, but you can add like a sense of playfulness to make the work more enjoyable and rejuvenate more. These are just some simple brainstorming in the beginning of this class to get into it. And so your brain just activates for what playfulness means a little bit, okay? A second one by Alan Watts, great quote, another one. By replacing fear of the unknown with the curiosity, we open ourselves up to an infinite stream of possibility. We can let fear rule our lives, or we can become childlike with curiosity, pushing our boundaries, leaping out of our comfort zones, and accepting what life puts before us. Sometimes in spirituality, there are these fluffy teachings where people just say, oh, yeah, be childlike, be playful, be like this and that, which is great if it really means something. The cool thing with playfulness is it can give you also a lot of success, right? It gives you rejuvenation. It gives you charging up like a battery, but it also is going to give you a lot of success. Example, you guys see my alien videos. That came from a state of playfulness, of being creative and trying something new out. Playfulness is the openness of trying something new out and being okay with failing, being okay with making mistakes, being okay with uncertainty, and just moving forward and trying something out. Only if you playfully move forward, right, you are able to build skills. The more alien videos I made, the more character videos I made, the better I got. By the way, I already was good at making character videos, only reason because I got 2 scholarships from 2 big theater companies. And we did improv. So I already trained the skills there, but you can also be only good at that if you practice playfulness. All right. So let me move to another one that I really love. We're not going to look at all of them, but a few more because there's some really good ones in here. Nothing kills the ego like playfulness, like laughter. When you start taking life as fun, the ego has to die. It cannot exist anymore. There's an opening that happens. The patterns can break better with the skill of playfulness. All right, let's look at a few more. I just want to make this like fast paced for you to guys get just a taste. I want you guys to get an opening for playfulness. Play is training for the unexpected. I love that because when you rigid in life, when you live, 1 second, there's a helicopter. When you're rigid in life, when you only live by certain rules, when I say, oh, I cannot be on a Zoom call with my shirt off, or I do all my coaching calls outside when I'm outside in the sun with my shirt off. How does this help me? Being outside in nature, I have a better connectiveness to nature. I have a freedom of perspective. I have so much space in front of me. Instead of being in a room, I have more access to inspiration. There's a squirrel running by. Life is fluid. Life is flowing. So I said, no, I'm not living by rigid rules. I live by my values. None of my clients cares, by the way, because they only care that I help them transform their lives, which, yes, I can give amazing value with my shirt off, okay? I can give amazing value with more vitamin D in my body, etc. And if someone doesn't want it, they don't have to do coaching with me, right? So, but playing training for the unexpected is also you not having rigid rules, you training yourself to be creative, thinking outside the box, trying new things. When then really some unexpected things happen, you like, oh, I could do this, I could do that, I can do that. But it's rules that given to you by society. For example, another rule for women a lot of times is don't approach men, right? But how much of an option are you lacking? How many options are you lacking if you only wait till someone approaches you? You're not going for what you want. Yes, you can do the passive kind of trick where you put yourself in the vicinity of the person, but they might not even see you. They might not be so busy. but you going for what you want, the society says, no, you're a woman, you should not do like the approaching thing. But thinking logically, how many opportunities are you leaving behind if you listen to society in that sense? All right. Next one. Choose a partner you can be playful with. Playfulness is highly underrated, and yet it's what makes us feel energized and alive. And that's what many relationships need more of, aliveness. I don't think I have to add something to that. Just look at life with more playful eyes. Don't be serious. Seriousness becomes like a blindness. Don't pretend to be a thinker, a philosopher. Just simply be a human being. This is also, until that sentence, you can see he takes out labels. Because if you consider yourself, I identify with my skin color, I don't identify with my religion, I identify with being shy, I identify with being ADHD, I identify with that. You already putting labels, you already putting restrictions, and you're less likely to think outside the box. In addition, you maybe get love for your limitations, right? If you're always like depressed and your mom always comes, oh, I love you, she always comes helping you if you like show your label of ADHD or other things, then you're getting love, you're getting attention for crying, you know? So then maybe later on that can happen more often. So we want to like take accountability and think outside the box. I didn't continue reading because I want to say that, but the whole world is showering its joy on you in so many ways, but you are too serious. You cannot open your heart. This also comes back to being in the present moment in nature. We get to be in nature. And sometimes it can be, we get to work, we get to make money, we get to take a shower. Not I have to take a shower. We can enjoy, we can be playful with the shower, we can be playful with ourselves. Later on, I'm going to teach you guys more about how to be playful with yourself to rejuvenate that energy. All right. I like that one. We all want to be a little bit glamorous, a little bit playful, and a little bit mischievous at times. Mischievous, let's just take it in a positive way this time, okay? But it's like that refreshing, that we need the yin and yang. I don't like when people talk about feminine and masculine because it's also labels and everybody has feminine and masculine. But I like the idea of balance, okay? I like this one too. It got cut off. We need to play so that we can rediscover the magic around us. And I loved her quote this is Rosemary Sutcliffe. When the playful me shows up, I'm ready to be a serious learner. A culture of playfulness is closely related to capacity to learn. This is also connected to interest or excitement about something, but also, so playfulness when learning or working gives you more space, more capacity, more rejuvenation to actually absorb information. If you learn with something playful, you can even see that with my alien videos. A lot of people, through the entertainment of the two characters, learn more because they're like, oh, this is exciting, this is playful, instead of someone being like, you need to do this, you need to do that, you need to do these rules, right? That's a little bit more, fuck, some people can work with that, but a lot of people are like, fuck, this is like, okay. Another thing here, serious, I think I forgot the second point. I want to say, when the playful shows ready to serious learner, culture of playfulness is closely related to capacity to learn. I think I said what I wanted to say with that. Yeah. Okay. So I think there's one more. Playful is, and this is just easy. I don't have to say why this is playing, is the most direct line to your creativity, right? Which is also giving you more success with creating on social media and even in your business. The more creative your ads are, etc., the more creative you can think in getting customers, the more success you will have. Rajneesh said, all your seriousness is about sandcastles, and you yourself will leave them one day, trampling them down, and you will not look back. The people who take it seriously miss the beauty of playfulness. So you can connect, and by the way, you don't have to take the interpretation that I take for these quotes. There's probably something that came up for you that I didn't even say. I just give like some things that I resonate with. With that, I resonate so much with, let's say you had a heartbreak and you were serious about, oh, this was my soulmate, this was the most important person, I can't believe they left, right? At some point, that sandcastle like crumbled, you moved forward in playfulness, so to say, and you saw, oh, I met another person and that last person didn't even fit for me, etc. So there's sandcastles that can like get destroyed, but we just build more sandcastles. All right. So with that being said, was that a little bit engaging for you guys to get like a little jump into playfulness before I move on? Let me know in the comments if that gave you some inspirations. Just type with your fingers, or yep, helpful. Okay, we're gonna go in the deep juice now. I just wanted to give you guys a lightful, playful jumping around with comments. But we're gonna go into the deep and actually in a little bit of vulnerable story for me, because I'm gonna tell you now why I'm so passionate about this playfulness subject. All right, cool. Let me tell you first a story of my past. I grew up with a lot of abandonment and a lot, I don't like really the word trauma, but yeah, a lot of challenges where my back was against the wall. And at some point I realized no one is coming for me. So I made the decision to be ambitious and learn myself how to be successful. And I moved forward. No one needed to motivate me ever. People more likely need to slow me down so I don't go crazy. And that's usually what I have like my family members for, my brother or my dad, who give me a good reflection about that. But there's a little bit of self-help addiction that was created for me because I just continued reading. And every time I needed to be efficient. And when I was in the car, no, I don't listen to music. I need to listen to another podcast from Eckhart Tolle or Michael Singer. I need to grow. I need to find the success. I need to find the mindset of success. I need to find the secret of success, right? And that seriousness, right? And then you in a forest and you see only the trees, but you don't see the forest anymore. And I got so serious about it to get successful. With part of it made me successful, okay? Because I'm not a lazy fuck. I moved forward, so to say, with strength and ambition. But here is the topic that I got actually inspired by a YouTube video that I watched recently. I think his name is, God, I forget it, Knee Knowledge or something. But it was about discipline and playfulness and how both feed each other. So back in the day, I was a lot into like, oh, I need to read another book. I need to do another. That's why I have a lot of knowledge. But I realized at some point, it sacrifices creativity. It sacrifices actually more inspiration and more learning. And what would help me more is be in the car and jam out to my favorite 70 music, or be playful, or do inside jokes, or give me mindfulness and walk in nature and create space. And out of that space, more ideas, rejuvenation, and like the happiness of life comes more. Like you get more energized, you feel more happy, you get the rejuvenation, your battery gets charged, so to say, like in an iPhone. If it doesn't get charged, how are you going to move forward for you to do better work, to move forward, to grow more? Not that the purpose in life is work, don't get me wrong, okay? That's why I say both is important. The playfulness is so important to enjoy life, and you can bring playfulness in work, and you can bring work, so to say, into playfulness, because playfulness is also a practice. All right. And that's what I'm going to teach you today. Second story that just happened a month ago. I want to build this community. I want to build school. I'm making more videos. I'm making 9-minute videos. I'm thinking all day, okay, how can I bring you guys more value? I have coaching clients every day. I do hours for them. I have some coaching clients where they are in my accountability program, where I have WhatsApp messages with them during the week. And they, of course, pay more for it. And I think. I go. And I think all day I have 2 hours a day where I go to the gym, but the rest of the day, mostly, I'm just think about how can I bring more value? How can I grow? How can I make my YouTube better? How can I bring my Instagram better? How can I make more courses, etc. Right? But I don't realize it until I'm like, I'm feeling weird. I'm feeling a little bit stuck. I'm feeling in kind of like, I want to keep moving forward, but it's like my nervous system, it's harder. And so I have a coach. I had a coaching call, but in that coaching call, I couldn't see a solution. And then I stumbled on this video, which is funny because it reminded me of a lesson that I already learned, but now I integrated that lesson way deeper into me. So it was the video about discipline and playfulness. And I was like, when you see something that you resonate with so much and you have the real, it immediately hits you. And it immediately hit me. And I was like, fuck, that's it. I was looking the whole fucking time for like an answer, but the answer was not an answer. It was not anything about achievement. It was not anything about trying to be more successful. It was about playing. It was about ease and the benefits it's going to give me. So I researched more. I got into more playfulness. And the next day, most important thing, right? I applied. Put my phone to the side, was like, fuck it. I ain't doing nothing today. I'm only doing the things I want to do. This is a me day. I'm doing what I want to do. I'm a chill. I'm gonna hang out in nature. And one of my favorite things, I went to the gym. Like I did a lot before, which probably definitely got me still like enough balance. I didn't burn out or anything. I just realized something is going not the way I wanted to. But then in addition, I gave myself during that day phone to the side, not on TikTok, not on Instagram, or only limited. And guess what? At the end of the day, I was like, what the fuck? I'm feeling so much better. I'm feeling so much more energized. I think I got more ideas, and I kept practicing. And then I was like, at some point, I think 2 days ago or 3 days ago, because I'm still going to make a seminar about, because a lot of you guys love sharing on social media and creating on social media. I'm going to make a social media class also next week. But I was like, you know what? This class, I want to do playfulness. So that's a story, a past story for you guys and a present story for you guys. Why I realized playfulness is so important in my life. In addition, how you can see the success of my social media, there's also playfulness in it, because basically a lot of times I say what's in the forefront of my mind, where other people, like, they're more inhibited. But I practiced that through a lot of theater experience, through a lot of improv, through a lot of just me practicing expressing myself, and other things I'm going to teach you guys today. So it's also going to give you a lot of success with the alien videos, with character videos, with trying new things, with your business, with your job, etc. All right. Let me know those three stories, guys. Did you see anything that you resonate with? Maybe you've seen yourself in the self-help addiction of trying to grow more, trying to be successful, etc. Was that helpful before moving on to the next one? By the way, guys, engagement is growing the community. So even engagement here and engagement in the school community, you're feeding the community, and guess what? You're going to get the fruits as well, because you're growing the garden and then you get the fruits. Jennifer says, there are times when I'm playful and others around me are confused. That's okay. I relate to it. And we're going to talk about it, because we're going to talk about this later, about playfulness with others. It's going to be about having no insistence on the outcome, and you will realize that you then more attract the people who really fit to you. Yes. Very helpful. Okay, great. Perfect. All right. So we're moving on. Next, let me see my notes. All right. Playfulness and discipline. And this is an example that came out of the video that I watched. I need to find his name. I'm going to find it. But he gave the example of Alan Watts and David Goggins. If you guys don't know, well, who here knows Alan Watts, who here knows David Goggins? Let me know in the messages. Oh, nice. Now you guys know both. Perfect. So, wait. Am I mixing up? Is that Ethan or not Ethan? I messed it up, is it? Because you have a brother. It's Ethan. Why did you guys look so disappointed? You look disappointed in a second. Okay, I got it. Because Nyla has two sons, and sometimes I mix them up. All right. So, yes. So we got David Goggins and Alan Watts. Alan Watts is a philosopher that a lot of times talks about non-forcing, non-action, which doesn't mean to not act, but it means to not force, so to say. So I like non-forcing more. It's from Wu Wei. It's more of a playful approach. And then David Goggins, if you guys don't know, he's a very famous internet personality now, but he's actually a ex-Navy SEAL. He wrote a book. He used to be really like fat growing up and not ambitious, and he became this ambitious beast that does 24-hour marathons now, and that who motivates so many people on the internet, and who practically created like a discipline, a mindset of discipline that helps now many men and women to grow more of their value gardens in their lives. But there's a balance, because if you only have the one or the other, balance and discipline, if you only have discipline, you more likely are burning out. And if you only have playfulness, there's a depending, but you're more likely lazy and you don't accomplish and you don't support your garden, right? You're doing nothing. You don't do a lot. So you're not supporting your garden, your value garden. And then also you're making your life harder by being, I don't want to say always playful because it doesn't really fit, but I want you guys to give the most value here as you can. So what I'm going to say is you can be, so to say, always playful, because you can be playful in discipline, but you still have to do your discipline. But these are also, I want you guys to know, when I talk, when I speak, these words that I use, Eckhart Tolle said this the best. They are pointers. They lead you into a direction of revelation or understanding that's supposed to help you to use tools and act in a way that supports your life. So it can mean something different to you. So for some people, when they ambitiously work out at the gym, it can mean for them that's not playful. But it can mean for someone like me that is playful. I love that, right? So I just want you guys to not look at life. Again, I want you to look at what I'm talking about more in a playful way, whereas understanding that these labels that I'm giving are not strict, but they're supposed to give you an understanding that helps you to move forward. Because a good coach, a good philosopher, what they're supposed to do is help you to live your life. All right? And not just overthink again and turn up in a self-help addiction. Okay, good talk. So discipline and balance. This is what I want you guys to ask yourself now. Because you need to create space for both. And the value garden that we created is, I'm just going to rescue this ant here for a second, so it's not ending up in my bag. Okay. The value garden that we create, if you know the 7 things of the value garden, are including playfulness and discipline, because we have creative expression, we have fun, we have business/money, we have relaxation, we have physical fitness, we have romantic relationships, and we have family and friends relationships. So supporting the value garden is not only creating discipline, it's not only creating work, it's not only action, it's also playfulness. Because there is playfulness, and actually there can be playfulness in all of them, but there's definitely playfulness in 4 of the 7. So even if you say there's no playfulness in physical fitness, which I don't believe, and even if you say there's no playfulness in work, which I don't believe, there is playfulness in creative expression, relaxation, family, friends relationships, and romantic relationships, and fun, of course. Okay, the ant is gone. So ask yourself, because we need to proactively set those opportunities for you to have that balance. Because if you only have one or the other, if you only have work, you burn out. If you only have playfulness, you sort of say, don't build the goals that you want to build. Even though, again, this doesn't have to be true, the other side, because you can build your goals with playfulness. This is just to better communicate, to better explain. So ask yourself right now, okay, first off, you want to set these things proactively, okay? Because if you just reactively, it can be that you're acting on your patterns, which means during the week, if you just say, oh yeah, right now I need playfulness, and right now you're just constantly reactive. But I want you to set atmospheres. I want you to set opportunities for you to have playfulness and goals in your life. And you want to set those literally with times and dates. So on Sunday, I hang out with my friends for brunch or whatever. I go to the movies. I definitely go 4 times a week. I give examples now. That's not necessarily me. 4 or 5 times a week, go to the gym. And there's no debate at these days, at these times. But I also, at these times and these days, I have playfulness. Maybe watch a podcast at night that I'm really playful about. I'll read a book that I enjoy. What means playfulness to you, right? What are those playful actions? I'll go hiking, I have relaxation, etc. So these are connected to the actions in the value garden. In a second, I'm going to give you guys more of an idea of attitude of playfulness, which you are able to use in any circumstance. All right. But first off, I want to ask you guys, where can you add more spaces in your week? I want you to literally think in a schedule. Don't make this theoretically. I want you to literally think in a schedule. Where can you add more spaces in your week to bring in play? And it doesn't have to, look, it doesn't have to, every time you set an atmosphere for playfulness, doesn't mean you feel happy and you have fun. But we need to do the practice of setting that up proactively. That doesn't mean you're chasing a feeling of happiness, because again, chasing a feeling of happiness most of the time ends in unhappiness. Always trying to chase a feeling of peace. Every time you don't have a feeling of peace, you engage, you say, oh no, I hate this, I don't want this, so you build more resistance. So it's more that we're creating an atmosphere. So let me know in the comments, in the chat, what actions in the week can you add? And a lot of times that includes other people, but it doesn't have to. But a lot of times it does, because there's a playful back and forth dance that happens with other people. So just write in the chat, what are activities that you would like to add that rejuvenate you, that give you more playfulness? And what actions are you avoiding, where maybe you say, oh no, I don't want the social anxiety of going to these events, but it would be good to go there and then practice the art of playfulness, which I'll talk more about in a second. If you guys don't all turn your fucking camera on, I'm going to get a nervous breakdown. I'm joking, but most of you, if you can, turn your camera on, okay? Don't make me mad. This is actually a good example of what I just did. I wasn't like, yo, fuck you, you guys are mean, put your camera on. And this is actually I learned recently from Alex Hormozi, because he talked about this. If you don't know Alex Hormozi, he's great. He actually is practically a business, teaches you about business because he created businesses. But in a Q&A recently, he talked about how back in the day, he watched this gym owner who, you know, when you have clients in the gym, they pay you a lot of money for you to be their personal trainer. But the gym owner wanted the people who were in the gym to take accountability and put their weights away, right? He wanted them to put their weights away. So one day, like this lady, she was just done with personal training. She was on her way out of the gym without putting the weights away. And Alex Hormozi saw this gym owner yell, come on, girl. I know you're not leaving my gym without putting the weights away, you know? And she was like, okay. And she went there and put the weights away. But imagine you would have said it another way. Imagine it was like, you should put your weights away. This is not okay. Then there could be, and this is what Alex Hormozi said, then there could be the attitude of, hey, I'm paying here. This is not okay. Well, you could put the, you know, there could be like more of a resistance. But if we say also things playfully, it gives us, so to say, an entry, a side of the ego of the other person to, yeah, exactly, Jennifer. I love it. It is a better delivery and communication. I love how you said that. It's a better, this is what I was about to say. It's about, it's creating a better communication with people. Now, that doesn't mean to use it as a manipulative tool to make other people do what you want, but it can be a good way to talk to people that are strangers, that you don't know, at work, etc. Just as an example, to fire it in, to give you guys more value. Okay. So Matt says, look for meetup groups you can attend and explore playful activities, karaoke, dance, open mic. I love it. Play with my dog, says Jennifer. Watch a fun video. Benny says, play more video games and allow myself to enjoy them. Yes, play more video games. Do the space for the video games. But also, there's a difference between saying, I'm going to play an hour, 2 hours video games, and binging 8 hours of video games. So for people, and I'm not saying this is you, I'm just saying this in general, for people who are inclined to more be in bed, watch 8 hours Netflix, don't do anything. This is actually, I got also from the YouTube video. I literally need to find the guy's name because I want to give him props and credit. But at the beginning, he talked about, and this is not actually something that I need to do because I'm already like disciplined. I can have playfulness in the beginning of the day, and I know I'm still going to get everything done. But a lot of times for people who are more inclined to be like the Netflix chillers, get your work done at the beginning of the day, the discipline, and then at the end of the day, create space after that for just fucking off, like playfulness. All right. Draw. Tia says draw. That's great. I love it. Jisha says, I would like to add playfulness to academics, and I need an idea in form of action, rest in playing with my cat, joking with people, being fun, honest with others that I surprise them, but they still appreciate the honesty and whatever comes to my mind. You went like this with your sentence, but I love it. She was like, let me just blur it all out. Let me connect everything in the sentence. No, but I got it. Thank you for sharing, Jisha. Play with dogs, going on trips, dancing, going out. Tia says, Andrea said that. Tia says doing crafts. Okay, I love it. Let's move on to my notes. See, I also have to have like notes, valued actions. I want to make sure that you guys get, and this is something that Alex Hormozi says too, value per second, density and value. I don't want to just be on here and like free flow it. Yeah, it can happen sometimes. I have a lot of training. I probably could, right? I've been doing this for years and years and years and years. I probably could, but why would I like not be ambitious enough and like and put it as notes down, so have a guidance, but then yeah, of course, be playful with the delivery. So, and then some people are like, oh yeah, just, and this can be okay sometimes. You can try both. But some people are just like, oh yeah, just let me make a YouTube video, I'll just talk. And hey, sometimes it works out, but sometimes it doesn't. Okay. Sometimes it's gonna suck because you just okay, what's next? And then maybe you teach something that you wanted to teach beforehand, and it would have been better to teach it beforehand because it gave the people a better map. Does that make sense what I'm talking about right now, guys? Let me know. Does it make sense what I'm saying about, in addition, have a structure? Okay, Jennifer says yes. Nyla too. At least two. Two people are listening to me. Tia is. All right, playfulness. Okay, here we go. Okay, now we're going into the deepness of it, right? Which we already approached a lot of the things, but now we're going really into the deep of the ocean with playfulness. how to practice playfulness with yourself. And I actually coached one of my clients yesterday on it. Her name is Jennifer as well. I love her. She's amazing. She actually is, and usually my best clients are perfectionists who have to teach how to stop engaging so much in the head, practice more mindfulness, and then add more playfulness and kindness with themselves and just direct them in a more useful direction. Like they the ones who kill it the most. So she's that kind of client who's like, from the beginning, when I tell her something, meditate, she just meditates, right? And she just does the things. And she has amazing results from it. And yesterday, we added playfulness. She really resonated with it. And the thing that I told you, this is why I'm telling the story. Here are some things you can use to add more playfulness in your day. In the morning when you wake up, this is something that I do too. Put on your fucking boom, boom, which is a speaker, if you don't know. Put on a speaker, turn on music, and dance while making breakfast, or dance to your favorite songs, or enjoy your favorite, if that's something you enjoy as playfulness. Okay, these are just some options you can use. Have inside jokes with yourself. Talk out loud to yourself. There's some sayings you catch from TikTok or from comedy specials or just from TikTok, Instagram, social media culture, and you find them funny and they like lighten you up. Fucking say them. Say them out loud to yourself. Joke with yourself. When you see something funny, say them. Be your own best friend. That's a huge part of playfulness. So these are two big ones. The music, dancing in the car, singing along out loud. That some of you guys don't take enough space, even when you're in your own fucking privacy. And I don't understand it. There's no fucking body around. Just sing, be in your car, be loud, have fun, of course. And sometimes your type of playfulness would be just to chill and relax in the car. And that's fine. But some of you don't take enough space, okay? Take up enough space. Take up enough space with your voice. Be playful, hum around, sing around, dance while you're making breakfast. Dance in the car on the way to work, right? Dance while you're making your breakfast, you're putting your supplements in. Be playful with the choose of your fucking clothes. Put on the colors that you are most playful feel about, that make you the nice around. This is something I have talked with my clients as well. They make oftentimes decisions in what they choose based on chasing validation of other people, which creates more fucking insecurity. Instead, what you want to do is choose what you like, what you want. And in the beginning, it's going to feel uncomfortable because the old pattern of chasing validation is the brain is like, no, 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 no. You're doing something that you haven't done in a long time. This is dangerous. We control everything by chasing validation, spending time in our heads on how we look. Here are more thoughts, here are more emotions. So it's going to feel wrong, but you come back mindfully to doing those things anyway, and the more you do it, the more normal that becomes for you. All right? Okay. So comedy. You are a unique fucking person. Okay? All of you are unique fucking people. Okay? Some of you resonate with other comedy than the other person next to you on the Zoom screen. Some like I love, for example, Prince of Bel-Air. I find it funny. Or I find it funny. I haven't watched it in a while. I like Bill Burr. I watched Bill Burr recently. I think he's so fucking hilarious, right? And then, but you don't need to also like all the jokes of a comedian. You take what you resonate with. You want to add, and this is another thing that's really important. Don't think in labels or music. You know those cult followers who say everything that person does is amazing, and every little song is amazing, every little thing is amazing. Maybe, but maybe you're just a cult follower, and you are so brainwashed that you say everything Kendrick Lamar does or Drake does is amazing, right? Now, you want to understand what you resonate with in your heart. That's also an access point to playfulness, to excitement. Okay? So you choose the song that you love. I don't give a fuck if anybody thinks I'm weird for listening to the Lion King soundtrack from the Lion King. Fuck all of them. I love it. Okay? And it gives me energy. And I love to sing. I actually don't know how it actually all the way goes, but it's like the circle of life, or the I can't wait to be king. But I listen to all kinds of others. I listen to Elvis Presley. I listen to the Beatles. I listen to Drake. I listen to some ratchet hip hop sometimes, but I don't like agree with the lyrics. But I like the sound of it, and I don't have to judge in that moment. I can be a little bit more playful about the fucking lyrics when they're fucking idiots and talk about drive-bys and other things. But I'm just like, yeah, that's hard. I love to do my workout now on it. We don't have to take everything so serious. But of course, then we have idiots who identify with those lyrics and go out and think drug dealing and drive-bys and being gangs is cool. Yes. Idiots. This is not what we're doing, okay? But do what you resonate with. I just said this because I also want to give you a little bit more openness to be okay with things. All right? What am I missing? Something I'm missing. So ask yourself, right? Oh, comedy. Watch comedies, right? And choose what is it you find funny, and ask yourself, this is a huge thing. This is one of the biggest things I teach, and this is what no one teaches, because they all like to have, or almost no one, because they all like to have people being dependent on them. I teach you that you need to trust yourself, that you are your own authority, and you choose what you resonate with. Now, there's a disclaimer in here, because I also need to teach you guys that you can be a slave to patterns, which means you might think you resonate with something, but really you're just chasing relief. And there's a huge difference. And it goes deeper. I don't have enough time now to talk about this. My coaching clients know. And if you go maybe deeper in my YouTube or my book, you will know as well. And maybe we talk about this later. But for now, just think about what you resonate with. Okay? And then apply it. Apply it partly first with yourself. Like, you talk to yourself, the jokes that you like. You talk out loud to yourself and make yourself laugh. It's actually coming from also, there's a big movement in, you guys know pickup artists, like there's the famous book The Game, and there's a tool that's actually really good from people who, pickup artists are usually guys, rarely girls, but usually guys who want to train how to learn how to talk to women. Because of a lot of guys, it's very difficult. They're not being brought up how to do it. So it's really good. There's a huge misconception about pickup, because yeah, there's always some weirdos in every fucking what's the word I'm looking for? Movement, or so to say, or like amount of people. There's always weirdos, but there's actually huge benefits for men in learning how to talk to women. So, but why am I saying this? Because there's a big there's a teaching in there. It's called self-amusement. It has huge amount of positive benefits, not only because it's you making yourself, instead of chasing someone else, instead of chasing the validation of someone else, you making yourself laugh, and then you're bringing that joy into a conversation with the person, instead of trying to be a taker and taking from another person. And that's very attractive. So that's why it's also taught in pickup. It's called self-amusement. So self-amusement is kind of the playfulness with yourself. 2 words, same thing. All right, let me know if you guys understand. And think about now, type in the chat ways, and you don't have to go things that are too personal, you don't have to say, of course, but type in the chat. You can talk around, like right around. What are things that you can resonate with playfulness in things, sayings, or music, or comedy, And the way to apply it is literally using it. First with yourself, then with others. And we're going to talk in a second. This is going to be number 2, because right now we're still talking about number 1, which is playfulness with yourself. But in a second, we're going to talk about number 2, which is playfulness with others. Can you repeat the last thing you said, please? I said a lot. Can you repeat was it about the self-amusement? I don't know what you mean. Can you guys see me well, by the way? Is the audio good? Yeah, so the self-amusement is learning what amuses you, right? It's learning what amuses you, and instead of chasing the validation of another person, in a conversation, also share things that amuse you. But yeah, also it's a give and take. It's you also listen mindfully to others and you respond, of course. But many people are trying to chase the validation of others. All right. Audio's good. Cool. All right. We're doing this. My Pellegrino is half empty. All right. Okay. Number 2. Are there any questions about number 1, first off? I should ask. Just in the chat. Later on, if we have time, we do a little question and answer, maybe, if we have time. Or maybe I'm actually going to do a Zoom class, an entire Zoom class, just question and answers. All right? Because we might not have the time. A quote from Toller about learning to watch the mind and almost laugh at it, so your mindfulness practice can become playful. Yes, I like that, Benny. Great share. Where's Benny? Oh, it's dark where Benny is. Ah, I see you, Benny. Thank you. Okay, Andrea, no question at the moment. Oh, was it this clear? Was I this clear? I love it. So no question. Okay, I guess there's no question. Jennifer says, yes, very clear. Okay, I love it. All right. Number 2. This is like a seminar. This is not a class anymore. All right. Number 2 is how to practice playfulness with others. And to be honest, I could just make an entire seminar about making each of those points, but we have like a certain amount of time. But I'm going to give you like a lot of the juice. So how to practice playfulness. Where do I have this? Okay, great. Okay. Okay. So how to practice playfulness with others. There's many points that have to be integrated in this, but I'm going to try to make it as clear as possible. All right. How to practice playfulness with others. Funny part, what I'm going to say, the next sentence is a paradox. So say, playfulness with others starts with yourself. Now, what do I mean with that? There was this podcast, Chris Williamson, and it was the author of No More Than Mr. Nice Guy. Maybe some of you guys know the book. It's a famous book. It was written a while ago. And he talked about something really interesting. He was like, share the first thing that is in your mind, in the forefront of your mind, the thing that you're not supposed to say. Now, a lot of people in society fall into the aspect of small talk or society automatic responses. So you meet someone, it's like, how are you doing? Yeah, I'm good. Okay. 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 Oh, really? Oh, did you do this? Okay. 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 Bye. Right? It's just automatic social interaction. Not that that's still healthier than having no interaction, of course, but we want you to practice being yourself. So an example of this it's so hard to give an example of this, but okay. So this is something random, but I go to this restaurant, and the first thing that this girl reminded me of that I saw at the counter taking my order was she looked like a flight attendant from Catch Me If You Can, the movie with Leonardo DiCaprio. So it doesn't have to fucking make sense to anyone, but this is the practice. So I said it, right? No, you guys are like, oh, what was the response? It doesn't fucking matter, by the way, the response. Like, she was laughing. Okay, it's fine. The response doesn't matter because playfulness is, and write yourself this behind your ears, it's about no insistence on the outcome. Okay? Goals is about an insistence on the outcome. Even with goals, you want to make it more about the practice, because even if you have an insistence on the outcome, it's actually wrong what I just said. Forget the last thing I said. Goals is still about no insistence on the outcome. Okay? Because Bashar's formula is follow your excitement with no insistence on the outcome. And from my experience, that helped me the most. But with goals, it's still about certain practical steps that are important to make. All right? With playfulness, there's no insistence on the outcome. And there are you can have certain practical steps like reminders, but it's more of a resonate and following your excitement. So, and it has to be a practice though, because you've been training yourself to be tagging along by society's standards for years and years and years and years. So now you have to untrain yourself, which in the beginning is going to feel uncomfortable sometimes, but that's why it's a practice. And the survivors, the winners, are the ones who practice tools, which I always say, right? The people who are like, give me the trick, give me the tip, I just need the tip, the technique, this, that, they're the ones who want the quick relief. They don't want to do any work. And that's the ones who, like, think of it. A universal law is that skills are the people who are the most successful. Think about it. People who do comedy, yeah, they're funny, they're playful, but they've been doing comedy for years and years and years and years. Like Chris Rock, Bill Burr, they did thousands of hours of being in comedy clubs on stage. NBA players, as fun as the game is, they did thousands of hours of practice. And the people who didn't want to do the practice, guess what? They're not in the NBA. This is not that difficult. They're not on stage. They're not successful actors right now. They don't have successful businesses, the ones that don't want to practice business. It's not that hard to understand. But there's many people out there who come to TikTok and Instagram. Give me the trick how to be attractive. I just want this 5-second trip. Does this ever work? Even Abraham Hicks says genius is just a longer focus on something. Like getting skillful at something is just a longer focus on something. So it's a practice, but also be playful with the practice to make it funner, right? So there are things that you find funny, but you don't say. Yeah, of course, don't say inappropriate things like, don't go up to a girl and be like, yo, let's fuck. It's probably not going to work out for you, okay? It's not. And it's also uncomfortable. Like, don't do that. But there are things that you find funny that make you self-amused, that you can go out of the norms of society, that you can say like, oh, this guy looks like the guy from Pirates of the Caribbean, or whatever, like something, the first thing a lot of times, and you can train yourself to be like, okay, this is something maybe I shouldn't say right now, right? Because we all have like, but there are things that you resonate with, things that you find playful, things that you find funny. And you can train yourself to that lighthearted thing when you meet people, to say that thing that's maybe obvious, but people don't mention, and you can say it in a playful way. You can you know, a joke that you resonate with, etc. It's a practice. Does it make sense? Are there any questions about that with others? A great thing to practice these things is improv classes, right? As well, because it's fast. And you have to start thinking like that. Oh, what's the next thing? How can I add to this conversation? It helped me a lot. Like, I've been doing a lot of theater. I've been doing a lot of improv. Another big thing is social media. Creating on social media, sharing yourself playfully on social media, and sharing what you're excited about. Guess what? I've been doing social media before I blew up on social media in 2020. I've been doing it for years on YouTube, even on Vine. I became successful. Yes, there's parts that come in it, right? TikTok, but also because I played around with TikTok, I didn't have no expectations on the outcome. And when people said, oh, in 2020, it was an app for kids. It was an app for kids. And the funny thing, I worked with kids, which will also give you more playfulness. I worked with kids for years, for 3 to 4 years, right? Anytime ages 4 to 17, doing all kinds of events, watching the playfulness of kids. Watch kids, you'll see. They find with their imagination things and then say things that are like, oh, these are obvious and this is funny and this is cool. You know what I mean? You break rapport with it. You build connection with it. Why did I say that? Oh yeah, TikTok. TikTok, when I started sharing things that I'm really excited about, that I was really interested about, spirituality and dating and relationships and psychology, I think it gave an energy, even with then the playfulness that came and the expression that people enjoyed, you know? Like, maybe something personal now, right? And maybe you guys agree or disagree, but I think part of why you guys like to watch my videos or like me is because I'm not talking about mental health or relationship and, okay, so the brain is in that atmosphere and we have to do this now and you should do that now. I'm like more playful sometimes with it, and I make jokes in between, right? And I do character videos. I'm not scared to do character videos. Now, look, you're gonna have thoughts. When I made the alien videos, yeah, there were thoughts of, oh, you're gonna get less girls if you make these alien videos, right? And I was like, fuck it. I want to be myself. I want to express myself. And yeah, status and being bigger on social media also gets you more girls. It's just the truth to it. So, but the good thing with it is the expression. I expressed myself. Okay. So I follow my excitement. And then the people you date, the people who see you from social media, they already know how you are. You're not this, oh, I'm trying to be cool, trying to fit in society, trying to fit into what's really big right now. Of course, it's hip hop culture, right? And I love hip hop. I listen to hip hop all the time. But I don't have to be fucking pulled in by an entire identity and then, no, I have to act tough. I cannot make the alien videos. That's not cool. I'm going to that's stupid. You basically imprison yourself by what society is telling you is cool. All right. Okay. So that was my rant about that. An important rant. Marianne says, I love theater and improving. Matt gave me the alien heart. You know, I'll get your symbols. He was like, girl, slow the aliens. All right. All right. I love it. People are drawn to authenticity. Yes. So a lot of times, okay, a big part of this is being proud of yourself and almost being it's being stubborn. Like, you have to take your side. You have to be like stubborn, because a lot of times people don't express themselves because they're like, no, I cannot do it because of other people. If I ever have these thoughts, I'm too stubborn for it. I'm like, what? You think I'm going to not be my biggest self because of some lame out there who thinks that's not cool, who has a fucking social media with no profile pic and not one single video. You think I'm not gonna try this thing out, be playful, see what I can do? Because there's some bitch out there who's not willing to do the same and trying to laugh at me. No, they're not paying my rent. They're not getting famous for me on social media. They're not getting successful for me on social media. They don't give all this expression, all this value for me on social media. I do it. So it's like a pride thing. When I look in the mirror, I always say this. Everybody knows this about me. I say this all the time because it's so true. When I look in the mirror, I'm proud of myself. Because I treat people right. And I'm most of the time, well, we're not perfect. No one's perfect, right? But I'm most of the time probably treat people right because I have morals. And I do the things I value. And I express myself. I take my little child along the way and say, yes, we can practice being playful. Yes, we can practice sharing on social media. Yes, we can practice our interests. I'm the adult of my little child and be like, yeah, we're doing this. Fuck these people. All right. So another important rant. I know we went a little bit over time, but we're going to finish strong. Almost there. Are there any questions? Let me give you some small practices. When you go to events, share yourself in a way that you value. Ask yourself, and this is something that you want to write down. Ask yourself, what jokes do you resonate with? What are your favorite TV shows? This all means kind of a little bit about you, by the way, because you resonate with things in it. What is your favorite spiritual teachings? Who's your favorite creator? Of course, me. You don't say me. So what are your favorite things, right? What is even your favorite color, your favorite, do you love working out? Do you love doing yoga? Do you love this music? Do you love this dancing, right? And the more you explore it, the more you will find it. But instead of, and this is where cognitive diffusion, which we talked about in our last class, the thoughts are going to say, no, you can't share that. Oh, what about how you look? Oh, you have pimples on today. You have to, next time you didn't get your nails done, or what if you get embarrassed, etc., right? And you already wanted to proactively set, today, I'm going to share 10 things about myself with 10 people, or 3 things about myself. You want to do it proactively, because if you don't set it proactively, you're just going to be reactive again. Remember the line that I always say. It's not my line. It's a famous line. Who said it? I don't remember, but it's, if you don't set intentions for your life, other people will set them for you. And not only other people will set them for you, also your brain will set, the old patterns will set them for you, because you're reactive to the old patterns. All right, cool. So that's a practice that you can do in events, in social events. Start even with your family members, right? What do you want to give to yourself and your family members in interactions? So it's not only about you. Don't be a narcissist, right? It's also, what do you want to give? What stories you want to share? Yeah. Will there be any cognitive diffusion class? You missed it. Don't worry. It's recorded. It is on the school community app. You just go to, it's not pinned. It might be still pinned, but if you scroll down, you see it. I shared it. I have to share. Now you remind me, I have to share it in the classes. But the first one is already shared in the classes. So there's a classes, there's a calendar. In the calendar, you went on the Zoom call, and next to the calendar is the classes. In the classes is my emotional fitness program. And in the classes, which is paid, but next to it is the free recording of our first, when we did the value garden exercise. So that I would suggest to watch for anyone who hasn't. You can skip forward to minute 51. Because that's where the exercise starts, to find your valued actions. And it's on YouTube. It's not on YouTube. It's kind of it's not uploaded publicly on YouTube. It's uploaded with that link. But on my YouTube, in some videos here, you're right, I talk about the value garden. But on that video, I do the value garden with the people. And the cognitive diffusion is also in the thing. All right. Benny says, "Well, watch that one. I bought the book. I love it. In the book, you have so many tools, the cognitive fusion, the value garden is in there. So while you watch the value garden, you can also have the value garden in the book and then write it down. You get more of an easier learning experience." Jasmine says, "There's nothing more authenticity than celebrities. The more authentic they are, the more people affection from people gets, and the importance like a president. Publicity converts the authentic in their brand. So the more you tap in your authentic, the more incredible things will happen in your life. I'm proof of that. I've been around all kinds of famous people, and they're extremely something, not everyone. I've been around a lot of famous people, and I can tell you there's a lot of fake people. But you're right. Nowadays, we're very sensitive to um bullshit. The more we get exposed to social media and the behind the scenes on TikTok, we learn more and more. We wake up more and more, right? Even with these classes, and you more allergic to bullshit, so you see more of the fake stuff. So the things that were made famous back in the day almost don't have a chance to be made famous today. But in a sense, what you're saying, there's a one thing that's really good in there as well is the authenticity is also showing your brand, right? If you have a brand, if you have a company, so probably a lot of people are more inclined to trust me because of the authenticity. So then they also buy more. It's just working hand in hand. All right. Okay, so we did now the second part, which was relationship with others. Um, One more thing. Playfulness cannot be forced, but it can be practiced. And it can be more likely to be achieved, so to say, by setting an atmosphere of playfulness, which means surrounding yourself with people that it's easy to be playful with, surrounding yourself with people that you're excited about, surrounding yourself with music that you're excited about, surrounding yourself with events that you're excited about. Again, the law of resonance. I just made it up. Probably someone made it up before me, but that what you resonate with, that what you're excited about. Well, the exciting about is from Bashar, right? Which he's amazing. If you don't know Bashar, check him out. Follow your excitement. And the playfulness is also, and that's also the formula of Bashar, follow your excitement with no insistence on the outcome. So playfulness will most likely only be rejuvenating and recharging you if you have no insistence on the outcome. Because you have the insistence on the outcome, you have more resistance. But if you're just playing for the fuck of playing, you create more space. And with that, you get rejuvenated. And with that, you get inspiration and ideas. It's like a moving meditation almost. It is a meditation, but it's not a substitute for a silent meditation, and a silent meditation is not a substitute for playfulness. So some people are like, oh, I'm already meditating, I play tennis. No, you're playing tennis, which is great, and it can be like a moving meditation, but a silent meditation is giving you a lot of additional benefits. All right, which will also help you break patterns, which indirectly leads to more playfulness. um so just to recap, discipline, in a sense, goals. It's not fully true. It's a flawed statements that I'm making right now, but it's easier way to communicate. Um, Goals, setting goals has an outcome, so to say. Playfulness has no outcome, no insistence on the outcome. But really, like I said earlier, your goals should really include playfulness and should not be focused too much on the outcome. It should be more focused on the practice. So both is literally the same. You want to practice growing your goals and you want to practice playfulness. Does that make sense, everyone? Yep. All right. I think that's it. That's the class. One more thing I want to give you guys. I want to give you guys an action step. You guys did the value garden. So add to the value garden whatever actions that you think are playful that you might not have yet. But then, very important, for this week, add the calendar from today, Tuesday, the 2nd, until Tuesday, next Tuesday, and add actions at certain times proactively where it works the best for you. Guess what? I'm giving you, you give yourself the option to choose the times that work best for you, where you want to work out, where you want to hang out with your friends, etc. At the times that and days, and put down actions where you want to do playful activities. And then when it comes and the brain says, no, we don't feel like it, we're not ready yet, you do it anyway. Okay? It might be a mindful walk, it might be hiking, and add the music in the morning if you want to, add the music in the car instead of doing more self-help addiction and trying to control. Because what's in the way of playfulness a lot of times, or is definitely in the way of playfulness, is controlling. The controlling attitude. Controlling in your head, spending time inside of your head. Mindfulness will help you be more outside of your head and more playful. Being inside of your head, being pulled around by thoughts and emotions will be less likely for you to be playful. So those action steps of adding the playful actions in the value garden and adding the playful actions in your calendar from today till in a week. And you don't have to overwhelm yourself. Just add 2, 3, 4, whatever, how many you want. And when the time comes, you do it no matter what the brain says. Yeah, I want to say we have 1,000 members in the school community now, over 1,000 members. So that's amazing. I love it. Over time, these Zoom calls are also going to grow, which you guys get the benefit now of being less people and getting more attention. Yeah, thank you for coming. Please engage in the community, share pictures. I would love for you guys, because this is how we grow the community, right? Again, you only get the fruits of the community if you give to the community. And most people are like, oh, where are my like-minded people? Where are the people that I love? But they never do anything to support a community. And then they're like, oh, why am I always lonely? Why don't I have a community? Because you need to also create the community. So please engage in the community, share with each other, share about the, you can take even a picture of the Zoom right now with your phone and then share it on the timeline. But yeah, I always love seeing you guys share your value gardens, share your schedules, and share whatever you love sharing. And also, actually, I do a homework for you guys. This week, be more playful in, let's have more fun. Be more playful in the end. Actually, we can practice that. Be more playful in the timeline, in the interaction with each other. Make playful posts, things that don't need an insistence on the outcome. Like I made like some posts about what's your favorite animal, what's your favorite color, like things that don't need always achieving. Make it fun. Like make a post or that's just, this is already a great practice. So see, we already have like an opportunity to practice in an easy way. Make a post. This is your homework, all of you guys. Make a post on the timeline about something that's playful to you that you want to share. It can be you dancing in the morning. It can be some comedy that you enjoy. It can be some music, some song that you enjoy. It can be some activity that you enjoy. And then tell us about it in a playful way, the way you want to. Maybe sing. It doesn't matter. Share it. Okay? Cool? How was that, guys? In the comments. How did you enjoy the playfulness class? Will this Zoom be uploaded in the classroom? Yes. Well, first it will be on the timeline, but I will try to add it both on the Jennifer says, yes, great to be playful. Jisha says, awesome. Kat says, loved it. Tia said, amazing. Nana said, was cool and really cool. Marian says, amazing. I love it. All right, guys. I wish you guys a beautiful day. Do some playful stuff. Super helpful. I love that. Do things that you love. And I'll see you guys next time. Stay up to date in the community. And I love to see your posts with pictures, being playful on the timeline. Okay? I love you guys. Bye-bye.